Hello and welcome to this webinar. Today we're gonna zoom in and talk about specific challenges for luxury brands and how you as a luxury brand can build digital experience 4 times faster. My name is Oskar. I am from Octo, a software company that focuses on enabling teams to build digital experience much faster using our experience data platform. Personally, coming from a background in CX over 15 years as a consultant and advisor, and now with the team at Octo since a couple of years back. And reason we are zooming in on luxury today is that we are working with several luxury brands, and we've also spoken with a lot of luxury brands through the last months, and we have seen a common denominator among challenges and also seen good proof points on how this can be resolved, hence why we wanted to share these insights with you today. Not gonna talk long about who we are, what we do, but just to set the scene, we are a software company, but setting the purpose of why we want to do this. At Octo as a company, we're on a mission, and a mission that where we are striving to helping companies making more digital cool stuff out of what they already have. So first driver, one of the key drivers that we have is that we are making digital teams data autonomous, meaning that we want to make commercial and digital teams more independent on tech resources in order to enable new types of experiences. With this, we want to make sure that companies easier and brands easier can unlock creativity and unleash innovation in these teams to be able to try out more, to move away from the traditional long IT projects to build new stuff, but also to getting more things, more new experience out to the market that can sort of leverage the buying experience for your customers. And thirdly, with this driver is to helping companies be more relevant out there, because we all know that it is at many occasions a competition for the customer's attention, and you need to be able to provide a really superior omni-channel unified customer experience in order that's relevant for your customers. And these are the drivers that we are striving to help companies with. Also, especially within luxury, I would say. And if we're zooming in on your challenge in luxury, we have seen that there is one of your big challenges is that you are, and glimpse of an eye, serving the most demanding customers in the world. Customers that are expecting high-end experience to be sort of connoisseur experience. They really want to be served. They really want to feel that they're getting something extra out of the money that they spend with you and your brand. So you have this traditional customers that coming out also with a heritage. They have like the top tiers that are demanding perfection out to every point. But you also, parallel with this, you have new digitally savvy customers that are emerging rapidly, that where we can see there is a lot of new money coming into the sector, with bringing new types of customer segments into your target groups, especially arising from the tech industry or etc., where you can see a lot of this new customers coming in that are sort of also changing the expectations on you as a luxury brand. And how do you balance this out? You need to offer sort of the traditional buying experience that we know is traditionally also very much built up around the in-store experience, while you have an increasing demand for self-service, digitally savvy customers, digital natives that really want to go digital first. They want to be able to compare. They want all the research, a lot of information, and they want it anywhere basically, because the whole world is their arena. And if we were to summarize some of the key things that we have picked up that we've seen as 4 important challenges, and hopefully you could recognize yourself in this as well, is that one key challenge is that you have with the products. And many of your products are long-term classics. They are products that stay on for generations, that sort of have a sense around them that this is a key product that you really want to own. Classics. And then it's your job to constantly reinvent how these products are brought to market, finding new campaigns, new initiatives, new ways to showcase them, finding new aspects of sort of reusing the data you already have and finding new ways to bring that data to life and to showcase them in a new, exciting ways and sell them also. Then secondly, another important challenge is the digitalization of experiences, really on how you keep this sort of really state-of-the-art concierge boutique experience that you have the ability to offer, but how can you infuse and layer digital as a part of that in order to also help you use data more to give your customers an even better experience in the store, but also how you can support this out of the store with digital tools and digital capabilities that also fulfills the need of the younger generation of customers. And not only do you need to do this in those specific channels, you also need to have a global relevance, meaning that for different customer segments in a growing number of touch points, you need to make sure that you still have a global relevance, because a customer that's in Paris one day can be in New York the next day and then in Singapore the week after. And how do you make sure that they get a common or a similar experience and get supported and getting known anywhere how they want, without making it too much of a hustle of having this kind of relevance and experience out there? And the fourth challenge that is not only for you, that is for many brands across many industries, but particularly also a little extra for luxury, is keeping up, making sure that you can adapt fast enough to new needs, while we do know that you have this great heritage that you need to respect. Heritage in terms of who your customer is and how they view your products. But there is also negative heritage, which could be that there are systems that have been there for ages, that are a bit old-fashioned. Many of you are a part of larger organizations where you need to sort of share resources with other brands in the same groups, etc. So how can you keeping up with the new needs while still respect this heritage that you have? And zooming in a little bit on the challenges, keep in here, is that if you look at the number of touch points that your customers have with your brand today are growing. So it's not only the in-stores, it's not only the e-commerce, the websites, it's also about customer service when they call in from anywhere in the world. What do they need? It's different types of loyalty apps, shopping apps, it's self-service tools that you might start bringing inside the store. It's post-purchase, it's pre-purchase experiences where you probably have different types of touch points where your customers meet your brand. And with you also, to get sort of out there to a larger amount of customers, you might have partners, you might have exclusive retailer networks that also have an experience with your brand that brings more and more digital tools into this. And we also see a trend that new digital tools, it's much easier to develop, which means, or especially digital apps, digital web apps, etc. The technology there has rapidly improved, which means that it's now very easy to build niche type of experience, which is also an opportunity for you. But there's also a challenge with this, and that is that even though you have the possibility now to do much more exciting new digital stuff, the data that you tend to need to bring these experiences to life is hard to find, hard to use, hard to combine, because they tend to be locked into systems. Some of these systems might have come into play on the later years, but some of these systems might go back very long time, which means that it could be quite hard to get the data out that you need to bring such an experience to life. And the traditional approach that many companies have had is that it becomes a messy integration project every time you want to do something, that you start connecting these different systems, building customized integration, and you always need to bring in your IT department to have this kind of experience come to life. And the easy answer often tends to be that, yeah, well, we have an e-commerce platform, just pull everything in there. But an e-commerce platform is driven and optimized to enable e-commerce experiences, not primarily customer service experience or in-store experience or sales reps experience or any types of other type of digital experience that might be needed to fulfill a specific need through a customer journey of your customers. And it doesn't really matter whatever you put in there, because it tends to be the same way. We're going to bring a new in-store solution, then you do an integration project, but it tends to be a CX, any type of CX platform. It tends to turn out to become an integration project. And what is IT today? It's a scarce resource. This is a common message that many digital teams or many commercial teams get when they want to do something new. Well, we don't have time, or you need to come back in 12 to 18 months. Or you need to have a roadmap in place. Now it can't be done. No, that data we can't have access to. Just sort of creating a frustration and limiting your creativity in terms of what can be done, really. And if we summarize this, we see that there is a common denominator, like these types of problems that are sort of slowing down experience enablement or experience creativity. And again, it's the data silos. It is integrations that you tend to build this type of integrations, but also the soft factor in terms of fixed mindsets. That with this, that these mindsets tend to be, this is the only way we can do it. We can't really change. This is our process. But the processes normally isn't fast enough, and which is could be causing you issues and to meet up with these new demands that's happening in the customer journeys. So today I'm gonna offer you like the 3-step recipe to faster CX projects. And this is takeaways that you can bring in and see how can you make this impact in your organizations to end up at a better place. And the first one is that you really should initiate the needs of enabling a holistic view on experience data. Experience data, I mean any type of data regarding products, content, customers, context, in-store, anything, the type of data that you need to bring to life in a digital experience to fulfill like the customer journey demands. So coming to a place where you're able to offer that to an easy access to your teams and the whole organization. And the second point is that you need to stop wasting money on point-to-point integrations. Technology has evolved so much that you need to stop taking data from one system and squeezing it into another. And doing this over and over repeatedly for every type of initiative that you want to do. There are so many nice solutions out there that can partly or help you solve this area, or there are also newcomers like an experience data platform that sort of really brings this aspect to life in a better way. And thirdly is that I think definitely encourage you to start challenge the mindsets to unlock creativity. Challenge these kind of old mindsets. Just saying that, yeah, we should have the traditional way of doing business with our customers, but we need to infuse digital to them. We need to utilize the power of digital tools into the existing customer journey, but also challenging the mentality of delivery organizations, saying that, well, there must be a better way, because we need to help them move away from a protective state when they say they can't be done. Because in the end, how relevant is a 12 to 18 month long roadmap in 6 months? Probably there's a lot of stuff in there that's not relevant anymore. So what do we mean with this? When we talk about holistic view and experience data, we talk about turning enterprise data into experience data. It's about, and with enterprise data, we mean structural data that needs to be in structural format with given purpose in your backend systems. They need to be there to make sure that your processes work properly. But you need to have new ways to turn that data into experience data, meaning that you should try to get it out in a way that it's easier to just pick and choose whatever type of assets you want whenever you need it, that you could give and tailor the type of data sets that you want to give out to front-end developers or whoever in your team that needs to utilize this data to bring like a new shopping app to life, or to bring an in-store screen to life, or some other type of initiative that you want to do to support your customers in a better way. And secondly, by avoiding building point-to-point integrations, you should consider this type of experience data to be sort of fabricated on top of these existing systems, where you can unify the data, where you can have these data easily accessible in what we call experience APIs, that you sort of have this sort of layer or fabric that you can easily bring this data to life in every session, in every micro moment where this data needs to be consumed, but also then making sure that you can get insights from that data back, and that you can have those data from those sessions coming back to them, so you know how that data is consumed and how that impacts the customer journey, and making sure that this can be at a global speed and with global performance as well, of course. Because if you do it this way, you sort of unlock the capability of easily building more types of features and more types of apps faster, which means that you can enable a mindset that helps you dare and try out new kind of ideas much faster. If it's, as we said initially, if it's sort of reinventing how you want to present a product, you could try out building a new type of experience or building a new way with a new tool to bring an old classic to market. Or if it's actually building a niche shopping experience for a particular type of your customers that sets a specific purpose for that. This makes it much easier with the mentality of trying out something, easily build it, if you have faster and easier access to this kind of data in the background. And an experience data platform is one enabler to get to this point. There are other ways too, of course, but that's one enabler where you can enable digital teams with such a platform to unlock, relate, and expose data, meaning that you onboard data into such a solution, you build virtual data sets, you bring that data to life, you convert, you combine, you relate it, and you expose it so it can be easily consumed at a moment, minutes, anywhere where you will need it, going from months to days in terms of getting the data to life. And the result that the customers can see with this approach is that they launch NAID within weeks. And with this said, I mean, it's also about coming from the customers we have spoken with. They've seen if you embrace this mentality, which is the most important aspect, that of course the system needs to be there, but you also then need to make sure that you then have the circumstances to create this mentality. You have an opportunity here to go much faster with new kind of things to the market. And one proof that we have working with Octo with this is that we have some of our champions at Cartier. So we have Thomas Davis, who is CDO at Cartier, and he says that he has seen proof in this. So when we say that you can bring ideas to market 4 times faster, it's not our words. It's actually Thomas's words saying that they now feel that compared to the old way of doing it, they are now 4 times faster. We also have Justine, which is a digital product owner within the Cartier organization. And he's seen several initiatives where they have been able to go from an ID in the commercial department to a first MVP in less than a month. That includes the whole process of design, front-end development, anything, because they removed that 80% of the traditional effort of building integrations of point to point. So he's seen a lot of great benefits of getting new types of initiatives out to the market. Also to learn. Some of them are becoming very successful, and some of them, but they might also be something you try out. Maybe that wasn't the best, but then you don't risk a large investment of getting those initiatives out to the market, and you don't have to do the same amounts of sort of ROI calculations and stuff. But showing some examples, just what is this thing he's talking about in terms of digital experience? What does it mean? Showing you some examples of that one of our customers, Cartier, how they have innovated their experience. Well, starting off, and to be frank, this mini site concept, for many of these that are luxury brands, this is not new. This is something that's been around for a while, but it hasn't been as easier maybe to control the content in it as Cartier has done it, because Cartier saw this opportunity that they have this mini site, their product catalog basically, that they embed into their retailer sites, where they are in full control of the content in there. The content is also relevant, meaning it's adapting to the assortment that each partner has, and also that it adapts the whole experience depending on where in the world that partner is, because there's also regulations and restrictions on what you can sell where. So they, through this one implementation of a mini site that sort of layers on top of the Octo APIs, they can instantly now push dynamic content out to digital experience with over 400 partners. And this is something that was something that we really benefit from, to really be in the control while they have been making the experience dynamic, saving them a lot of times on verifying, validating implementations of their brand at their partners' sites. But now we're getting into the really more fun, exciting parts. For instance, their Japanese commercial team had an idea that now when during the pandemic when it was a harder challenge to get customers into their stores, they realized that what if we could do a specialized e-com app only for brides, and this was not possible to do in their main e-commerce solution because that has a long backlog. It's going to fit all the markets. It needs to be developed. It needs to be tested, iterated, approved, verification, production, deploy cycles, etc. Would have taken them at least 9 months to get something similar out. So what they decided was that, okay, let's build try out the specific app. So in 5 weeks, they went from this idea to a full e-com MVP that had configurable rings, that had customized content, had a customized process, customized experience only adapted for brides that wanted to get married in Japan. And it was so successful that after 3 months, they decided to roll it out globally instantly. And it was also a really exciting idea on how they can actually tailor a shopping experience to support the needs of one specific customer segment. Why should you have one fit all in terms of e-com for anyone? Another initiative that they did, and also they did an MVP in 1 month, was an in-store mobile app that helps sales associates provide an even better customer experience when the customer is in store. They can take pictures of their existing watches, the customers that they have on their hand. They can find relatable items. They can find also tailor the product recommendations that they get in the app towards what sort of the preferences the customer has. It can find where, if there are other stores close by, where that product might exist, if it doesn't exist in the existing store, etc. So it provides a digital tool for the in-store staff to give the customer much better support when they're in store. And another in-store experience is that they developed something called the Cord Bar app that Cartier has in their stores, implemented what they call a Cord Bar, where you can actually showcase bracelets according to each customer's unique personality and style. So it's something where they're really infusing having a digital screen which deploys an app in a store where they can really sort of tailor this and have a conversation with the customer while they infuse it. And this was just 3 weeks idea to deploy. So the time to market is a key thing here, that it goes so fast to test new ideas and bring stuff to life. But then coming back to the initial challenge, you being a luxury brand, what is sort of the benefits then that you could gain with this approach? And tying it back to the original challenge, the first and most important is that your digital teams become more data autonomous, which means that they can do more with the efforts they already have. They can really shorten time to market with new kind of commercial initiatives, making it easier to invent really on how to support the customer journey without risking a large investment. They also have the possibility to scale this digital experience for anyone globally friction-free, meaning that it's much easier than it has been before, because going into this mentality and buying this service as a SaaS also means that they have the possibility to be relevant for anyone anywhere. So can easily scale out this from a small initiative on a single market and easily roll it out on multiple markets. Thirdly, is that digital can easily be tested and on top of the traditional boutique experience. Cartier is doing this a lot, bringing new type of initiatives into the store and really sort of trying to combine these worlds to really bring new innovative stuff, making sure that you sort of layer this on top into the stores, making the traditional experience much richer and much better and much more relevant for the customer. And fourth is that they are now have the possibility to enable more ideas on how they can reinvent how products are brought to market, meaning doing new kind of initiatives to getting these products to life, meaning that they can do much more targeting different personas. And all in the end, it's creativity that's unleashed, that you have the possibility to do more with less. And if this is not enough, if you want the hard facts, the 3 key things with an experience data platform is that you minimize integration costs. I said, getting rid of this point-to-point integration, so you can do more projects. Do not turn every product into an IT integration project. With this, you have the possibility to launch 4 times faster. and building even more relevant experiences, building these type of cool things, campaign apps, web apps, customer service tools, in-store tools, anything that you can have to sort of enrich the whole digital experience of your brand in a much better and much nicer way. With this said, I'm going to leave you with the last 3 recommendations. If you remember, what was my 3-step recipe? How can you get to the next state? Firstly, have a look at your data stack. How can you make sure that a digital or commercial team can have much easier to the experience data that they need to be more self-sufficient in terms of running initiatives? 2, please tell your organizations to stop wasting money on point-to-point integrations. Take that budget and put it on UI, UX, service design, etc. instead, or do 3 to 4 times as many initiatives with the same budget. And 3, really challenge the mindsets in the commercial teams, in the digital teams, and in the IT teams on how can you unlock creativity? What is holding you back to do more? Is it something of these things I've said, or is it something else? Doesn't really matter. But the important thing is that there are new ways to do things. There are new kids on the block making sure that you can do things much faster than you've been able to do before. Time's up for me. We have 4 minutes to go. If you want, feel free to pop a question in the chat, or if you have any reflection. If you have any feedback to me or a question to me, we're happy to reach out to me at oscar@octo.com. If you would like to know even more about what we have been doing with Cartier, for instance, or you want to know more about the product itself, you will be presented with a screen after this webinar where you have the possibility to book a meeting with someone in our organization. With this, I say thank you for your time, leaving you 3 minutes to your next meeting or whatever you're going to next. Thank you, and I hope I'll see you again sometime in the future. All the best.